So what we're going to be doing is finding the missing variables with the information that's given. And so using your parts of the atom notes, which I see some of you have not done them yet, so this is only going to get harder after these steps. So before this, you should have done what is your ion to show how you can figure out if something's an ion. And I'll be pointing them out in this video if we ever see an ion. Okay, so what I want you guys to also do is get on ptable.com. Just put ptable.com. Okay, this is the periodic table you're going to be using today. So we're going to go ahead and how to solve for the missing information. Okay, so if I'm looking to find my mass number, I have an equation which I gave in your notes. Mass number equals protons plus neutrons. Well, the problem is I don't have my protons, but I have my neutrons. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to see what else I can find. How to find my protons. Okay, so to find my subatomic particles, I've put the equations in red. To find my mass numbers, charge, and atomic number, I put them in green. So to find protons, it equals my atomic number. So I know my atomic number. Therefore, let me make this black. Therefore, I know my protons is going to be 17. Now, I am always going to put a plus after my protons because it also helps me find the charge. So, now that I know my protons, I can now go ahead and solve for my mass number. My mass number is protons plus neutrons. So 17 plus 19 is 36. So my mass number is going to be 36. Now, to find your electrons, you have to know the charge. Okay, and so if it's giving me my charge and it's saying my charge is 0, to find electrons, it's protons minus your charge. So my protons is 17 minus my charge, so 17 minus 0 is going to be 17. Now, another way to think of this is if you don't have a charge, you have to look at your particles as positive and negatives. And my protons are positives and my electrons are negative. Well, if I have an overall net charge by looking at this, well, 17 positives and 17 negatives, they cancel each other out, which is why I have a charge of 0. So when I'm writing my symbol, I'm going to write what the element is, and my atomic number or my number of protons is going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and look on the periodic table. I'm going to find the atomic number of 17, and so my element is chlorine. So what I'm going to put is Cl. Now, in the bottom left, we write its atomic number, which is 17, or its number of protons. In the top left, we write its mass number, which I'm going to write as 36. And then in the top right, we write a charge. Now, you do not have to put the charge if there is no charge. And right now, our charge is 0 because my protons and electrons equal. But if it makes you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and put 0 in there to show me that there is no charge. But if you don't put anything at all, I'm also going to assume you're saying it's 0. Okay, so what I want you to do is go ahead and pause this video and try the next one. Okay, so I'm assuming you paused it and you've already attempted. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, my atomic number, I cannot figure out because my atomic number is my protons, and I don't know my protons. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. Okay, I'm given my mass number. So how to find my protons? I need to know my atomic number. But I've also given another equation. Your protons is your mass number minus your neutrons. And how I've gotten that is by just rearranging my mass number equals protons plus neutrons. But I have to have neutrons and mass number. And in this case, I have my mass number and I have my neutrons. So rearranging that equation, you just subtract your mass number and neutrons. So 180 minus 109 is going to give you 71 protons, or in the way I like to look at it is 71 positives. So I'm going to go ahead and add a positive. Now I know my atomic number because my atomic number equals my protons. So your atomic number should be 71. And then when I'm looking at my charge, I'm looking at what has a charge. Well, my protons have a charge, and I'm just going to go ahead and add the negative here. And so do my electrons. So I have to look at an overall net charge. Which one do I have more of? More protons or more electrons? More positives or more negatives? Well, I have equal amount of positive or negatives. So my net charge is going to be protons minus electrons. So 71 minus 71, my charge is still 0. Okay. So this is not going to be an ion. So based on the video that you guys watched today, an ion is anything that has a charge. So if I go ahead, my symbol for 71 is going to be, looking on the periodic table, it's down here. So you're going to put Lu, lutetium. So you're going to write Lu. For the atomic number, which goes in the bottom left, you're going to write 71 because it's your atomic number. And then for the mass number, it goes in the top left, which is 180. And once again, it does not have a charge because my protons equal my electrons. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the top right or where my charge is as nothing. Okay, and if you put a 0, that's fine. So go ahead and pause this video, try the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that you guys have gone ahead and attempted it. So once again, let's go ahead. Atomic number equals my number of protons. Well, my protons are 40, therefore my atomic number is 40. My mass number is protons plus neutrons. So protons, which are 40, neutrons, which are 46. If I add those together, it's 86. And now the next thing I need to look at is my charge. And this is why I add positives and negatives to protons and electrons. It makes it easier to see. Well, your charge is the overall net charge. Now, you could simply use the charge formula, which is protons minus electrons. So it would be 40 minus 38, which is going to be a positive 2. But if I look, if I have 40 positives and I have 38 negatives, my net charge is going to be more positive. And it's going to be more positive by 2 because 40 is 2 more than 38. So my charge is positive 2. So how I would write this is going to be whatever element has atomic number of 40. So I'm going to go ahead and find that on the periodic table. It's zirconium. So I'm going to write Zr. Zr. The atomic number goes in the bottom left, which is 40. In the top left is my mass number, which is 86. And then in the top right is going to be my charge, which is positive 2. And this would be an example of what we call a cation. It is an ion, okay? And it's a positive ion. So knowing that, the difference between what a cation is and an anion is whether it's positive or negative. So if I have more positive protons or more negative electrons. Okay, so what I want you guys to go ahead and do is I want you to try numbers 4 through 14, and you're going to go ahead and submit them on Google Classroom. My answers are going to be posted in the Google class. All right. And so it'll be under keys tomorrow. And so we're going to be discussing this during class tomorrow. So class tomorrow is not going to be very long. And then for Friday, you're going to be doing a worksheet that looks like this, and I'm going to be grading it on accuracy. So if you have questions, make sure you guys are asking.